Hi, it's been a while. I am in the process of moving. Our house is currently getting remodeled. So I'm currently living in the horse trailer full time. I'll do a video later on, kind of like how I have my trailer set up for living in it full time. But I'm getting ready to move out to Oklahoma and build a horse ranch from scratch as a solo woman. So that's going to be like really exciting, really difficult, a lot of fun, I think. So if you want to subscribe and follow that journey, we're going to go ahead and record here in the next week. Actually, I'm going out to put up some fence. So that'll be fun. So if you want to subscribe to follow along with that, that'd be great. But I wanted to get on here and talk a little bit about drama and bullying. I think the two go hand in hand with one another, because I see a lot of people online say that the reason they got out of horses is because of the drama and the bullying, not just in real life, but online. So I want to kind of address how to handle that, both online and in the real world, where everything really should exist, honestly. And how you can still have a career or have your hobby in horses and not have all this negativity and drama affect you. I think one of the biggest reasons when it comes to like drama, and this should be something I hope empowers everybody, you have control over what you consume. Like the drama, you hear someone talking about your best friend over here and the BS that goes on. Like, I'm that person. I would approach them and be like, hey, this is my friend. You guys are only getting one side of the story. I'm going to share with you something else that's going on and just kind of try to set things straight as politely as I possibly can. Because I'm that person. It's like, I was homeschooled. But that does not mean I was not bullied, right? My brother, sister, and I, it's like we had swim lessons, riding lessons, ice skating lessons. This idea that homeschool kids are just socially inept, to react and to behave, or how to react within society. That's just such an archaic mindset. Like, there's so much going on in the world, like, that homeschoolers can do. Like, you're still interacting with other kids. Like, I know how to interact with other human beings. Like, shut the fuck up, right? In swimming lessons, we had this kid in my class. His name was Fabian, and I remember his name very vividly because he was unique. The name was unique. But he always wore this little blue Speedo, and kids would bully him. And he just kind of always hung out to himself. And I very vividly remember I was standing on the edge of the pool. We were doing like diving lessons, right? And he was the best diver out of the entire group. He wanted to be an Olympic swimmer, and that's why he dressed the part. He dressed the way that he wanted to be when he got older. And these kids constantly made fun of him because what child wears a little Speedo? And I remember standing on the edge of this pool during this class, and I was standing next to Fabian. He jumped in the water. He was underwater, and the kids were, starting to talk, crap about him, right? And I looked over and I said, shut up. He can dive better than any of you can. And they just kind of like looked at me. I think it was like 7 or 8, but there were a couple other times where I stood up for him because I was like, I wasn't friends with any of the kids in swim class either. So it's like, I wanted to be his friend, but he just kind of stood off to his side, or to himself. And then in ice skating, I had this ice skating instructor who did not like me. I was really struggling with this one thing that she said that I was struggling with intentionally. It's like, no, my coordination wasn't there. I couldn't remember. It was like a backward spin or something that she was trying to get me to do. And I didn't realize I was a little bit dyslexic at the time. And so I couldn't coordinate my feet in order to spin the way that she wanted me to spin. I was getting frustrated with it. So instead of trying to break the steps down for me, she just kept telling me, you need to do it. I know you're faking it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, really? You think I'm faking it? I'll show you what intentionally faking it looks like. And so whenever she told me to do something, I flat out did it wrong intentionally, just to irritate her, because now I knew what scab I could pick. But I've always been that person. It's like, you irritate the shit out of me, I will irritate the shit out of you tenfold. So that's kind of spilled over into social media with me as well. and how I treat bullies online. And because I do post quite a bit online, if you follow my other platforms, I'm a lot more active there than I have been on YouTube. But I feel like there's two types of people in the world when it comes to bullies. And there's the individual, say like you have a bully, right? They're gonna act like a freaking ape in a zoo. They pick up their shit and they start throwing it at you, right? There are two types of people. And one of them is the individual that has such a thick exterior, they don't even acknowledge them. They have no idea they exist. And I admire those people. Those are the people I think we should strive to be. But then there's the people in my camp where we see these apes in the zoo picking up their bullshit and throwing it. I'm that person. I'm going to pick it up. I'm going to be like, here, you dropped this. I'm going to flip that mirror on them and I'm going to see how they react. Here, you drop this. Take it back. Oh, you don't want to take it back? Then why are you throwing it in the first place? So these people, what they're trying to do is they're trying to project themselves onto you. So for instance, there's this lady here locally I just discovered who absolutely hates my guts. She thought she was going to hold me accountable online. This woman was like, you said all these horrible things. You said people who wear helmets, that they're mint Barbies, and that you're trashing the local arena and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, one, asking if there's any other arenas to run at is not trashing that arena. I just don't want to run there. And two, that post that I made about mint Barbies, that was all about me saying, I'm not a mint Barbie. I'm not fragile. So stop treating me like I'm fragile. It has nothing to do with people who wear helmets. I have been so consistent about this whole helmet argument that helmets, I am constantly saying, I don't care if you wear a helmet, wear a vest, shin guards, I don't care. I will never make fun of you for it. I will never bully you for it. I have been consistent on this issue. So for this woman to say these things, and for a lot of people to say those things, when I objectively know that that's not true, I have so much evidence. It's like, sometimes it bothers me and it gets to the point where I feel like I have to say something, but at the end of the day, it's like, I know it's not true. Why do I have to address this? And I think that's something that I definitely still need to work on. That's something, a big area for me when it comes to growth. But I feel like so many people, they get caught up on that negative side of things that they don't see that these people, they are just simply projecting themselves, trying to project themselves onto you. Like this woman locally saying all that crap, saying I'm putting people down in order to lift myself up, while in the same comment, get this, nice comb over. You're a hypocrite. You're gonna sit there and tell me that I'm putting people down to lift myself up while simultaneously saying that I have a nice comb over? You're gonna shame my appearance? Bro, this is how you know these people are projecting onto you. Like, when I read that and I saw that and I was like, oh my God, this is projection in its most obvious form. And that's why it's like, it bothered me for a little bit, because it's like, I know I have a lot of people here that don't want to see me leave, and I knew like there were people here that wanted me to go, right? There's like a handful of people that I know. I've got receipts, y'all. Don't let me release these receipts, because I will. But this handful of people, this little group of people that are believing this lie about me due to one person who I simply told no. Because of this one individual spreading lies about me, they all want to believe this lie. I don't have to participate in that lie. All I have to do is continue to show the truth, that I am not the person that they want me to be. And it doesn't matter how good of a person you are, these people will believe whatever they want to believe about you, that someone else is trying to dictate your image for. And that's like, just ignore it. It's like, what the fuck? Like, they are, again, projecting themselves onto you. You don't have to accept their ugly into your life. You don't have to accept that ugly energy into your energy. You can be like, nah, you go over there. I'm going to go over here. We all know the truth. Real people know the truth. These bullies, they know the truth as well, but they can't, like the famous movie quote, they can't handle the truth because the truth about you exposes them. They don't like it. So let them expose themselves and you continue to be that positive energy, that positive force that you so desperately want to be within your community. This is where I kind of feel bad for all the content creators that they grew incredibly quickly, right? They were a nobody, and then a couple videos later, everyone seems to know them because they went super viral. So what ends up happening with these individuals is they never had a chance to develop that thick exterior that someone like myself, who has kind of grown slowly over time, who's allowed those layers of armor to just build up. And I feel like that's kind of like the same way with people in the horse world as well. If you're allowing these negative things to affect you, then maybe you need to slow down on your consumption of these negative things so that you can build your armor to it. You don't like... Here's how I look at my involvement in the horse world. Yes, there's a lot of drama that goes on. Yes, there's a lot of bullying that goes on. You're going to find that in every aspect of life. You're never going to escape it. So why give up on the thing you want to do most when it's always going to exist? For me, I have to constantly look at, I love the sport more than I hate the drama. All right, that's how I try to look at all the negative things that go on within our industry. There's no industry is perfect. No side of the equestrian world is perfect. No side outside of the equestrian world is perfect. I think we all have to choose what we consume. And that's something like, you have the power to control what you accept into your life. You don't have to keep accepting all this negativity to the point where you just have to quit. That was your choice to allow that negativity into your life. Just as it is your choice to ignore the negativity. Only bring in something positive. Like my social media feed, like, before I get into this, your social media feed is a reflection of your scrolling habits. If you're constantly interacting with negative things, then your social media is going to constantly give you negative things. My social media is quite the opposite. It is a lot of positive things, a lot of motivational stuff, because those are the things that I interact with because I want to get better as a horseman, competitor, businesswoman at that. You know, I'm gonna try to get my business going when I get out to Oklahoma at some point. But what you consume is reflected on your social media feed. So if you're tired of the negativity, stop interacting with drama pages. I think those are just do a big disservice to the horse industry. Stop interacting with negative posts. Stop commenting to negative commenters. Stop enabling these bullies, and just try to be a positive force into your own life. Something too about bullies, if you're going to post content, here's something that I absolutely love doing. One thing that I do is I always post about things that I stand behind. These aren't things that I'm going to change the wording to make it sound a little bit more palatable for somebody. I say it like it is. So when people get mad at me, say, you're calling, like recently, you're calling bullies names. What names? I'm not calling them the B word like so many people are calling me. What do you mean I'm calling them names? You called them pearl clutchers and Karens. And I'm like, yeah. And don't try, if people try to play this game with you, don't try to disown what you just said. Embrace it. It's like, yeah, I called a bully, and what of it? You're going to sit there and tell me we can't expose bullies? You're going to sit there and tell me we can't call a bully? Guaranteed, if you're going to complain about me that I called a bully a Karen, 100%, you have said the same thing, if not worse. So again, why can't I call a bully a bully? Double down. Like, never back down from what you said. And something else too is never apologize to these people. I made that mistake once. Here locally, I said something about, there's a lot of hobbyists within the barrel racing world, and a lot of those hobbyists exist within your 3D, 4D, and 5D divisions. And that's not a lie. That's just my observation based on what other people have been saying about themselves. So I made that remark. I can't remember when it was several years ago, but some of the girls here, they got mad and they're like, so you're calling all of us hobbyists? And I was like, well, not everybody's a hobbyist. If you're doing this as a business, then you're doing it as a business. But if you're doing this as a hobby, then yeah, you're a hobbyist. And they got so mad that they wanted me to apologize. So I was like, just to keep the peace, because I knew them locally, I apologized. I was like, well, I'm sorry if you took it this way, but that's not how I meant it. You know what they did? You're not sorry. You're just saying that because you don't want to deal with the backlash. It's like, okay, so now I know what you're doing. You're intentionally being argumentative because now you think you've won. Never apologize to these people. If you're going to say like you're a hobbyist, like, yeah, there's some people that are hobbyists. The people who call themselves hobbyists, yeah, they're hobbyists. And what of it? You're calling everyone a hobbyist then. No, I said the people who call themselves hobbyists, yeah, they're hobbyists. If you're not a hobbyist, then you're not a hobbyist. Like, don't ever take back what you said, unless what you said, is very egregious and should be said. But never capitulate to these people, because as soon as you capitulate to them, they're going to double down. Now they've got you. When you double down on what you said, yeah, I said it, and yeah, I called them a bully, and they don't know what to do with themselves. And it's funny to watch them squirm. It ends the argument like that. It's like, I'm not responsible for what I trigger in other people. They are responsible for their reaction to it. Just like you are responsible for your reaction to the drama and the bullying that goes on. I'm a firm believer in flipping the mirror on a bully and exposing them. And if they wouldn't pick up their own bullshit, right? If they're not going to pick that up and take it back, then why are you chucking it in the first place? Why? It makes no sense. So just be mindful and try to view yourself from the outside before you go and make these big decisions about quitting something because you don't like what is going on drama-wise within the industry. Because again, you have control over whether you consume that drama or not. You have control over whether you are going to be a part of it or not. Sometimes, we get involved in drama unintentionally. Like I have done a few times, but if you're going to post on the internet, just post on the internet. It doesn't matter. People are going to make drama out of nothing. But you can choose how you handle that. And I feel like there's a healthy way and an unhealthy way. And by reacting negatively to negativity, you're just going to double down on your negativity, that the negativity that affects you. Whereas if you respond to negativity with positivity, either just try to be funny. Like that's what I like to do, is I just try to, post a funny meme when someone is harassing me or bullying me, and just kind of make it funny, right? If you can respond in that way and never back down from what you said, you're going to have a much better time being involved in the horse community, whether that be in person and especially online, and especially those who are aspiring to be content creators in the horse space. So I hope this video helps somebody kind of overcome their struggles with drama and bullying. And like I said, again, I'm getting ready to go out to Oklahoma, set up my property. So if you want to subscribe and follow me there, that's going to be a lot of fun. So hopefully this video helps somebody, and I will see you all in the next one. Until then, peace.